There was a lady on Lawn Road. We call her Mrs. A, not to mention any names, but her neighbours all called her Beaky. Her head peering through the hedge, or out from the net curtains, or listening at the fence was a common sight. 5 young girls living in the road used to make up all sorts of stories and tricks to see if she would believe them and start new rumours.
Do you get emotional?
No, because I'm proud of what I did. It's something to be proud of. You know, it's you do, I suppose, slightly, but it's you're proud, and with your training, you don't show it. So it's not something it comes out very much. I suppose it does when you get older, but in the moment it doesn't.
All the way from Kangaroo Hop by Carrington Park and up to the school was fields. And from the church up to the school was also fields. There were no bungalows and council houses like now. The walk up to school was free and green. The paths on the main road were there though. They still are. One lady we spoke to said her granddad, Dad, her and her daughter all walked those paths to school, just like me.
In 1928, the church bells were recasted and all given names. Patience, victory, joy, liberty, faith, hope, peace and love. We all like that, all happy names ringing out over the village.
The Lich Gate was erected as a memorial in 1908 for the Rev. Marlowe Wilkinson, Vicar of Milford for 21 years.
There were hardly any cars in the village, really right up until the 80s, and kids would play out in the street all day, in the holidays and even after school. Stick in the mud was a favourite, and drawing out hopscotch with chalk and riding their bikes and skates. No mums and dads were worried about them being safe at all.
Yes, we used to walk through the fields at the back of here and to school, and Mr. Goyne, who lived at the top of here, he was the one that built all the bungalows, and so then we couldn't go through anymore. But that was later on. I mean, as long as I went to Milford School, my father went to Milford School, my girls went to Milford School, and my granddaughter actually went there for a little time. So it's 4 generations went there really. So we go back a long way.
When Miss Mabel Walker was about to marry Lieutenant Edward Munro, her father's engagement present was £250,000, with which to build a family house at Rhinefield. However, this did not use up all of their money, so the White House was built as a summer residence from the residue. I wish I was that rich. They called it a modest beach hut, but it was massive. It is meant to look like an ocean liner, and there was enough land in front for tennis courts. Not like now, the sea comes right up to the walls.
The village had a poorhouse in 1795. There were 46 people staying, 3 men, 6 women, 16 boys and 19 girls, mostly children like me. The master and matron had to see that the poor people were clothed and fed properly. The poor children were sent out to work, so they would cost the village too much to live in the poorhouse. They were sent to work locally, so providing cheap labour in the neighbourhood.
You children are really annoying me, you're testing on my patience. Soon I'll wipe that smirk from your face. Soon you'll be crying heaps on the floor, all because of me and the cave. Where shall I go? I've got no home. I can't go home. Nobody wants me. I've got no parents. I'm all alone. Where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where shall I